I'm Maggie Lukowski from Maggie Moon Tarot, and here are the vibes for the week. We have an interesting week ahead of us. This Saturday, the 27th, Mercury enters Scorpio for the next 2 weeks. This can include some intense conversations, including some zingers, but also can open up space for deep dialogue. In addition, these two can be allies when it comes to collaborating on projects or situations that are not ready to be revealed yet. Then gentler energy prevails as Venus moves to one of her homes, Libra, for the next 3 weeks. Areas where they can help are in partnerships, social networking, and legal affairs. Venus and Libra can be the mediator between some of Mercury and Scorpio's flare-ups. Mercury will go retrograde, which begins next Saturday, October 4th, the last one for the year. So this Venus and Libra duo can help keep it real and balanced. And for the reading this week, I'm using the newly released and exquisite and charming Alice Tarot from Baba Studios. I shuffled up the deck and asked Alice to give us some information for the energies floating about this week. So for the beginning of the week, I pulled the 9 of Wands. And we see the two mischievous Tweedles, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, spoiling for a fight, a bit similar to the Mercury-Scorpio energy. This can be with people or situations in our life, and it can be seemingly over something crazy. When we're tired and we haven't received the rest our body and mind needs, we can feel a bit edgy. We may have been pushing ourselves too hard lately or fighting the good fight. It can also be an internal struggle we're having with ourselves. Rest, pause is needed before we proceed. It can be as simple as a nap, going to bed earlier, and making sure we're eating well, taking care of our emotional and spiritual needs too. So meditation, massage, Reiki, any type of healing work can bring relief. I recently visited and took part in the crystal healing therapy in a session with the John of God crystal light bed with healers and my guides, facilitated by my friend Diana White. So restorative practices can lift us up from this 9 of Wands energy. And for the energy midweek, I pulled the 3 of Cups. And the card shows Alice with the chess queen, socializing in the meadow. A welcome change of energy where you can relax and catch up on news with friends. Maybe it's a girls' or guys' night out. The queen seemed busy chatting while Alice is taking it all in. So sometimes we are the listener in a group, relaxing and receiving ideas or providing feedback for others. There may be that person who needs to talk and share. Three's about communication and having a bit of fun and downtime. And the chess queens can be the Libra and Venus energy. We feel like Alice in the middle, benefiting from their balance, beauty, and grace. And at the end of the week, the hangman popped out of the deck, which is represented by the Cheshire Cat, appearing and disappearing at whim, leaving us with his famous grin. He reminds Alice that when we are in Wonderland, there is a bit of nonsense going about. We may feel a bit mad. So maybe another pause for the week is in order. And Mercury retrograde is about to start. A bit of surrendering, looking at things from a higher perspective or vantage point before proceeding. It's interesting because the moon is in Aquarius at the end of the week. So we may be looking at a small sacrifice, keeping the higher good for all in mind. And it can be a time to see what direction we want to take. We will know when to get started again. And as the conversation goes between Alice and the Cheshire Cat, would you please tell me which way I ought to go from here? That depends a good deal on where you want to get to, said the cat. And the rune I pulled for this week is from Mary Nail's Rune deck. It's Rito, the Traveler's Rune. And it's the wheel of life. Its tree is the oak tree, and the color is bright red. The herb is mugwort, and its crystal gemstone is chrysoprase. The rune Rito talks about movement, a journey, maybe even a shamanic journey. It's going with the flow of life, as all things are cyclical. Even when times are difficult, we know that they will not go on forever. So aligning ourselves with the seasons is the best way to do this, and taking one day at a time. And a feng shui practice for this time of year, since we transition from one season to the next, is to grab our broom and start sweeping outside our front door. It's about sweeping out the old energy or debris and welcoming in new energy. This can become a ritual for us all year long, a practice of making our home sacred. We're open for business, for good luck and blessings. And that, my friends, are the vibes for the week. If you'd enjoyed this video, I invite you to click on the like and subscribe buttons. And I'd love to hear your thoughts, and there's a comment section below. And I've included a transcript of the video in the About section, along with links to the Alice Tarot from Baba Studios, Mary Nail's Rune deck, the John of God Crystal Light Healing Bed at Diana White's Insights for Wellness, and a link to my website, MaggieMoonTarot.com, if you'd like to contact me or to schedule a reading. So, until we meet again next week, believe in miracles, laugh often, love much, create your own happiness, be kind, support each other. Namaste.